miles of barbed wire. I got a cobra snake for a necktie. A brand new house on the roadside, and it's made out of rattlesnake hide. Got a brand new chin that baby built on top, and it's made out of human skull. Come on, take a little walk with me, baby, and tell me, who do you love? Who do you love? Now around the town, they use a rattlesnake whip. Take it easy, baby, don't you give me no lip. Who do you love? Who do you love? I got a tombstone and a graveyard mind. I'm just 22 and I don't mind dying. Who do you love? Yeah, who do you love? Ah, who do you love? Took her down by my hand. She said, Lonesome George, you don't understand. Who do you love? The night was dark and the sky was blue. Down the alleyway, I swag and flew. Hit off bump and somebody scream. You should have heard just what I seen. Who do you love? Who do you love? Yeah, who do you love? Oh, who do you love? Stone head, a graveyard mind. Just 22, baby, I don't mind dying. Snakeskin shoes, baby, put them on your feet. Got the good time music with the boogie to the beat. Yeah, who do you love? Who do you love? I walk 47 miles of barbed wire. I got a cobra snake for a necktie. Brand new house on the roadside, and it's made out of rattlesnake hide. Got a brand new chin, the mama bit on top, and it's made out of human skull. Come on, take a little walk with me, child. Tell me, who do you love? Yeah, who do you love? Who do you love?
Tickling your communist cornhole with the feather of freedom. It's post politics on a Sunday night. What's going on out there, buddy? Zach,
what's up, man?
What's a good word? We're having some fucking technical difficulties.
Yeah, it's not showing.
This just
showing trip to me. It's not showing me to trip.
Yeah, pretty much. This just stinks, especially for tonight. Okay.
Well, no, I mean, like, you can't see me. Everybody else can see.
Yeah, it just doesn't work as good for the conversation, though. But
yeah.
All right. Well, we decided to do a psychedelic Sunday, and actually, I've been looking forward to doing this for like the past like probably 2 weeks. Um, and like Zach, you had to work late one night, and we had other shit lined up for other times. Also, I forgot to fucking mention, I've been talking to Ford for like the past 2 weeks too. Once he gets back from Vegas, he'll probably be on probably next Sunday.
Okay.
So we got that to look forward to as well. And yeah, I wanted to pull a psychedelic Sunday. By the way, I felt like it was a disservice for us not to do this. We talked about doing musical shit,
Yeah.
musical themes or whatever. Not gonna say that it's like every Wednesday or whatever, but we definitely need a Wu-Tang Wednesday. Because there's enough. Not only with the Tang itself, the clan itself, if you will, but definitely all the solo albums that got some fucking real gems on there. So I'm sure we could fill a show up with some good.
Absolutely.
So I think Wednesday we'll be doing a Wu-Tang Wednesday. But what's going on with you, brother?
Nothing much, man. I'm working my ass off, dude. Shit.
I feel you.
A whole lot more than that.
Yeah. Man, it's been hot, dog. It's been hot. You gotta run for shade.
Goddamn. 88% humidity and shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's terrible, dude. Like, just doing yard work and stuff has just been like I had to come in and like sit down for like 10 minutes today. Like, while I was out doing stuff. I didn't have like even that much to do. I didn't have to mow the whole yard, but I had to do some other things, but had to come in and sit down and was like, oh, I'm not just coming in to like refill my water glass or whatever, but it was like, I'm gonna pass out.
That's definitely some bullshit. I don't know, man. I've kind of gotten used to it, so it's not as bad. No way to completely get
Right.
so hot that
It's too much sweat buildup, and like even though I take my showers, like I still got like certain things like you get your mild like acne or like zits that pop up to where sweat's just built up like on the back of your neck or somewhere like on your eyebrow ridge or so it's like I always get at least like one or two doozies with that like during the summertime still, but yeah, I mean other than that it's been all right, I guess. Oh, okay, there we go. Well, I guess we got at least the post-pol. Oh, what happened? Where'd you go?
I'm getting in.
All right, rock on. Yeah, I can do that.
Right.
But yeah, that's probably better. But tonight, like I said, we're doing Psychedelic Sunday a little bit different. We're gonna hit the intro here in a minute, but a little bit different stuff than what we've normally done. We've usually our Psychedelic Sundays have been more extroverted in philosophy and thought.
Yeah.
And I thought that it would be just as important to do one a little bit more introverted tonight.
All right.
So that, and I'll be honest, like I've been we'll get into it. Some of Jordan Peterson's stuff is going to be top to expand upon.
I'm telling you, dude. It gets deep, man. I've like,
Yeah.
and we talked about it like before we started talking about it on the show that I've been like,
right.
I was like in on it, dude. So like, it's impossible to like listen to this. Now I want to talk it over with some.
Well, I've also picked up the book, so
Yeah.
I'm early in on the book, and I've only probably bought like 3 or 4 books that some I revisit.
Yeah.
Or some I can just pick up, pretty much for free or whatever. And this is the first, like, one of the probably third new book that I've read this year. Yeah, the third new book that I've read this year, and I haven't even read it all yet. I'm still like in the I wouldn't say like the genesis, but still early on in the book itself. 12 Rules for Life, but there's just so much to say about well, like I said, we'll get into it. And us being dudes, it really does speak to, you know, if you, I guarantee our audience has seen more than one or two or three fucking Peterson clips, but just some of the stuff that has to be said about, postmodernism and growing up in the world that we live, and us being pretty much the ripe age of you know, the heart of what's being spoken to there, and a lot of this stuff has a lot to say. And for me, it's personally, for me, somewhat my next evolutionary state. So I'll explain all that when we get back. But all right, we're gonna hit intro, and we'll be back in about 2, everybody. It's Psychedelic Sunday. I got all kinds of good shit lined up. I got a Peterson clip, I got a Terrence McKenna clip, I got fucking Porno for Pyros, Pink Floyd, Tool, Mazzy Star. We got all kinds of good tunes for you tonight. So stay tuned. We'll be back in 2, everybody. It's Post Politics.
And the sad part is that most people seem to have been indoctrinated to believe that bullshit only comes from certain places, certain sources. Advertising, politics, salesmen. Not true. Bullshit is everywhere.
The NWO fighter, the show that gets America its balls back.
And you've got to put your bodies upon the gears and upon the wheels, by all the apparatus, and you've got to make it stop. And you've got to indicate to the people who run it, to the people who own it, that unless you're free, the machine will be prevented from working at all.
I don't want to put a violent connotation on it, but this is a war zone. I'm talking about my life and yours.
If you're not on some government list by now, you're doing something wrong.
After 8 years of lies and hypocrisy, people love this guy. Leads me to a very disturbing question. How far up your ass does this guy's dick have to be before you realize he's fucking you?
It's good for kids, too.
I mean, you're born absolutely free except for laws of nature. Those, if you drink, you get drunk. That's a law. If you get old, you die. That's a law, too. If you sit on a tack, you will bleed from the ass. These are the only laws that you're born with, and any government just fucks you out of that type of freedom.
If you're not involved by now, you are just as much at fault as our oppressors.
I was terrified when my doctor told me that I had a unique and interesting personality trait.
It's Post Politics with Trip Q.
All right, everybody, back at it.
Woo!
Oh yeah,
All right.
Kick off. Got some feedback there for a second. Hold on, maybe it'll. Yeah, there we go.
All right.
But
all right.
no, we wanted to. I don't know. Is there anything like you wanted to get kicked off on? Because I'm just gonna start like.
Nah, man, start ranting, dude. I'm good with it.
But okay, so it kind of also came to me, and of course I've been paying attention to a minor amount of some of this stuff for the past probably around 2 years, but I've really started to dive in a lot more because, and I told Britt the other night that like I've been through my own like adult fucking armchair psychologing myself to death, right? Throughout my adulthood, I guess you could say. And then the past like couple years of my life, I've come to like a place of acceptance, right? Like where I'm like, okay, like I know my mother will never be the person that you know what society deems as normal for a mother. I know that she won't be able to give me like what I feel like I need as a son out of her. You know, my dad's a mess, but like I love him and he's there for me in the way that, you know, he should be, you know, but he's still like a man child to a certain extent.
Yeah.
He's just living his deal, you know what I mean? So it's like, not just with my parents, but just with people in general, just coming to a place of acceptance of people that I have in my life. You know, I've done a good job in my probably mid-20s of like filtering people out that I don't need around me or want around me, where it's like, I don't really care, you know, I don't like you, so like you're not worth my time. So
yeah, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, just not gonna. It's not high school. You don't have to deal with people. You know, we're adults. Like, you really don't have to deal with people that you, other than probably in a job capacity. You really don't have to deal with people that you don't care to deal with. You know, unless it's like at a retail store or, you know, in a job.
Yeah, bullshit situations. Yeah.
Right. I'm taking the significant time out to deal with this person that I hate in my personal life. Like, that just doesn't come up anymore really in my life, you know?
No, at least not with me. Yeah, I mean, there are people that do it, I think. Most of us adults.
Sure. So, but I kind of ushered in a little bit more over the past couple, I'd say probably like around the past month, like really taking a note to, okay, now it's time for solution-based stuff, right? Yeah. It's time to, you've got the acceptance, you understand who your wife is, even though she has these traits that you don't like, or your in-laws or your own parents, or, you know, or even some of your own friends, you know. Okay, it doesn't bother me, I'm on my path, and you know, everybody's got traits that you don't like, but, you know, you come to a place of acceptance about that. And does the acceptance, once you come to that, does it outweigh any sort of negative shit that comes along with that? And if you're still hanging around with those people, the answer most likely is yes. Everybody has traits that you don't like, you know?
Yeah. Fuck yeah. I mean, fuck, you have traits you don't like.
Right. Yeah. Your best friend in your entire life has traits that you don't care for. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm pretty fucking awesome, but there's some shit about me I don't like. You know what I mean?
Right. But
yeah, I think that's a given for.
The point of being with a lot of this is okay. Now it's time to move into not just self-realization. Self-realization was first. Then acceptance of the people around you, like, instead of going for years, I would say I could handle a lot more of my problems if they weren't caused by the people I'm surrounded with, whether inadvertently or, you know, these are just the people that I do have to deal with. Is that I was like, man, if other people didn't cause the bullshit in my life, I could handle it a lot better if it was just on me, you know, because I know where I'm coming from and I know how to handle it should this arise. And so I said that for years, and then finally, you know, the acceptance, and then going, okay, now it's time to really work on myself. Not just understand who I am, but it's like, okay, here's the hard part. And it really has been. It's the hard part of going like, you have to do this, you know, and there's a lot of stuff in some of the philosophy, teaching, psychology that I've researched lately and been into and looked up and heard lectures and podcasts and et cetera, that is going like, I've got a good bit of this down, but I do have a lot of other areas lacking, you know, where it's like I'm in order to be productive, anybody else in my position that does what I do would be a wreck if I didn't have my head on straight. If I didn't have my head on straight to go, I have to keep going, because that's the motivating factor for me, right? It's not like I'm this great guy. What it really is like I have to keep going to sustain what I've already got going on. You know what I mean? Fuck you. I do have to get up in the morning, and it sucks every day, but I roll out of bed at hours. The thing that pisses me off most is when I wake up 30 minutes to 45 minutes before my fucking alarm is set to go off. Pisses me off to no end. But just working on yourself. But
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that, and I think too, like, I think that's something that I luckily, I mean, I didn't have. I will say, like, Peterson gave me a lot
just beneath the surface.
Yeah, that I already kind of, I mean, to a certain degree, kind of was already practicing in some areas wasn't at all, but I mean, I've kind of always been, or at least for the better part of a decade or so, kind of been like, look, I know I don't want to give somebody fucking just brain in my head. You know what I mean? I don't, basically that, like, you deal with the way that things are. Things happen to you, but they don't affect your day. You affect your day. You know what I mean? Like, you allow them to affect your day. That kind of shit. Right? That's something that I've always kind of been that way about it, but didn't have such a good philosophy to kind of back it up and, like, to deal with the way that you deal with things.
Those little tools and stepping stones, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's the fine tuning shit that we're gonna be getting into tonight.
Yeah. I think that's something that people have to get into, man. That you have to start realizing that. I mean, the best way that I explained it to Sam when we first met was kind of one of those, like somebody drives past you on the road and they flick you off. It's not a, you usually say it as in, like, oh, that guy ruined my day, or that guy fucked my, my trip up, or whatever. And it's like, well, no, he didn't. He just flicked you off. I mean, like, you chose to ruin your day about it, and that's kind of one of those things that I think a lot of people do. It's like, you're so reactionary. You leave so much of the things that happen externally to affect your day, to be the judge of how your day fucking goes.
Yeah,
in reality, the external things didn't actually do anything. Like, those are just things that happened. You fucking chose to allow it to fuck your shit up, to fuck your view of the day up.
You really leave it on the table, as it were. You know what I mean? Like, like you really do, like, kind of leave all of these external. You're putting value on it,
Yeah.
Or in value, whatever, like, don't get me wrong. If that guy stops right in front of you and fucking gets out of his car and starts beating on your car.
I mean, there's certain situations that you have to handle, right? I mean,
I'm just saying, like, that's all part of the equation. And my thing is always, like, jumping to worst case scenario. So it's like, I'm going to have to fist, like, anytime that sort of thing happens to me, I'm like, I'm going to have to fucking fist fight this guy. I'm going to have to fucking get out of my car and say, you got the wrong one today, motherfucker. Or whatever, like that's where my mind immediately goes. And going back to, like, what I was hinting to earlier, my rage and my my drive combined is like what gets shit done for me.
Yeah.
Like I hate that, and I need to figure out a better way of doing it. But that really does define what I'm getting done. It's like, if I can't be angry, my anger,
you're like a pale white Hulk.
Yeah, like, or that, I always say, like, that Hatebreed song, "Driven by Suffering," like that. That totally defines. And I'm not saying, like, I'm continuously suffering, but, like, suffering, anger. There's some other external motivating factor for me, and I wish I could be more content, but every to each their own, I guess. And for me, like, if I were to let that go at right where I'm at, I might be a fucking lazy bum, or I might have to just rethink my own mental state just to put myself in like, okay, here's why I'm doing this. I'm not doing this out of spite or anger or fuck everybody else. Like I'm and no, but it's always like a beat for me. It's more of like a guerrilla mentality, beating your chest, fucking like, I'll show them, motherfucker. If I don't have an I'll show them thing, I don't know, other than an actual work ethic. If I don't have the I'll show them mentality, I don't know how productive I actually am. You understand what I mean, man?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And me and you have also talked about like low self-perception too, what we deal with, even though we come off as, somewhat confident people to a certain extent, but
yeah,
like our self-perception, is still, I don't think that you would dispute that it's still way lower than probably what it should be at this point in the game.
Yeah, for sure.
But it, like I said, that's a driving and motivating factor.
Yeah,
for
no, I mean, absolutely. I will say, like, my perception of myself has gotten better over the past couple years.
Sure,
but it definitely is an issue that I've had forever. I just think, for the most part, like I think there's a certain. It's funny. I don't know exactly when it was that it hit me. I want to say while I was in prison or shortly after was actually a time when I started realizing, because there's a point in your life where you realize, or where you're simply thinking that like, man, everybody else is. I'm obviously the weird one, right? Like obviously I'm the fucking weirdo, and then eventually you start seeing the way that things are, and you. Excuse me, man. I got some fucking heartburn, man, and it's fucking killing me. But yeah, no, you start realizing that, like, wait a second, dude. I might not be the weird one. Maybe everybody else is fucking weird.
I kind of did that in retroactively, like you're probably better off in what I just explained right now. Like you're probably better adjusted in that manner from what I explained, and what you just explained, I came to first.
Yeah.
Before I got out of high school, I was like, you know what, man? Like, fuck these people. Like, I don't give a fuck. And I still conduct myself in public and in business the same way that I always would, and I listen to my heart and my gut and fucking go by the seam of my pants for the most part. But it's just, I have little concern about what I look like to other people or what they value me for. You know what I mean? Like, does my yes mean yes and my no mean no? That's some biblical shit for you.
That's actually the book of James, but yeah, I got.
Yeah.
I know my shit, bro.
Damn, son.
I know my shit, bro.
Getting biblical on y'all.
I know. See, it's funny, man. Like I like doing that every now and then. Anyway,
keeps everybody on their toes, man.
Most people think that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about when it comes to the Bible, so throw that in just to refresh everybody's mind that I'm a sharp motherfucker.
Right. See, that's once again, you want to go into the inner psychology of that. That's us.
Exactly.
That's projecting our own knowledge to.
Yeah,
not to make other people feel inferior, but to actually make us seem more than we are in our own minds.
Here's the deal, dog. The big dog on the fucking porch, right? Like, he knows that he's the big dog on the fucking porch, right? But he's still every now and then gonna give you a little fucking, you know what I mean? Just to let you know.
I can chew a hole in your ass if you really
just in case you forgot, I'm still the big dog on the fucking porch over here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's all right.
Oh shit!
But
for sure.
Yeah, man. I just it is. There's a lot of it. A lot of times, I used to think that I was a certain part of me that was, oh, well, it's stupid that I know kind of thing. Why would I know this kind of shit? Or, you know what I mean? Like, there's no reason for, I've talked to so many people and everybody thinks it's fucking stupid that I pay attention to these things that I pay attention to.
Right.
And then eventually you start going like, oh, no, never mind. Wait a second. Everybody's just fucking stupid for not paying attention to, you know what I mean?
Not only that, and then you get to our age and you're like, people are just now starting to pay attention to this shit that we were hip on in high school. Like, you understand what I mean? Like, it's like, no, we weren't stupid back then. Like, we were fucking 12 years ahead of the curve or whatever. You know what I mean? Of when people started, like, having to, you know, rationalize things or dig into X, Y, and Z topics. You know what I'm saying? So it's very interesting. Not to say, like, those people are less than or anything else, but it's, you know, Peterson does that whole bit on, you know, the man-child deal. Yep. You know, like, no, you're not going to be provocative or really productive or attractive to somebody else if you let that go on too long. You know.
Yeah.
And you still haven't grown the fuck up and dealt with your shit or whatever, like, and that I mean, there's a certain amount of that struck a chord to me because, like, I had more responsibility and did more in high school than I would say probably 80% of my peers at that time. You know, I had a job and a car and you know, had other things that I was doing that garnered responsibility way more than, like I said, about 80% of my peers. So, like, I understood that, but I'm still the guy at 33 years old that's still like, I want to keep the party going, you know? Like, I'm like, don't let it stop. Like, I'll handle my business so I can keep the party going. Like, that's the driving, motivating factor. It's like, hey, man, if I knock all this shit out and everything's all good, you know, and I still have to, not to say like that's like a great or terrible thing, but like, for instance, you know, I have to tell Brittany and trying to be calm about it so I don't, you know, rustle her fucking feathers on it.
Any goddamn feathers, yeah.
But I'm going, it's 9:30 at night, all the kids are in bed. There's nothing that can be done about this situation until tomorrow. So let's watch our shows, throw a couple drinks on ourselves, or get into, you know, we sit on the back porch and just talk very in-depth, interesting conversations, which is, you know, A1 why I love her as much as I do. Like, I got the right one, you know, because we can do that and we can actually get somewhere. Yeah. You know, but it's like at some point in the night, you got to turn all that shit off. You know, my time to do so gets shorter and shorter as the years go on, with more and more shit that has to get done and dealt with. So it's like at a certain time of the night when the kids go to bed, fucking, if it's something that can wait till tomorrow, it waits until tomorrow. I don't worry about it. I turn that whole fucking thing off, you know. And Brittany will fucking keep herself up at night, you know, worrying about shit that can't be done for another 12 hours or maybe even 2 days, you know. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's something to be said about that, but also understanding gender roles too, like that traditional sense. People can say what they want to, and I'm not gonna say like there's no evolution of things.
No, I mean, I'll say to you like that, even before you get into that, I'll say anybody that says that those traditional gender roles don't work is fucking full of shit, because I can guarantee you if they are in a relationship, either that relationship doesn't work or somebody is fulfilling those traditional gender roles. And they don't even notice it. Like there's, sure. Like I'm sorry, but it doesn't even matter. I mean, look at it this way. Like, you know, you have so many people that, you know, you've got gay couples and lesbian couples or whatever, and I guess they're one and the same. But you know what I'm saying? And even they base their shit off of one of them is masculine, one of them is feminine.
Absolutely, 100.
And
dude.
And
Great
it's
call.
because of the fact that you need that. You need that. It's the reason why. Like, dude, look, women are a pain in the ass. All right. If two masculine fucking people get along together, fine, then everybody'd be gay. It would just be like, hey, dude, I'm just gonna fucking hang out with my best friend all the time.
Hey, Zach,
You know what I
how
mean?
about we just fuck each other, dude?
Yeah,
Like,
you know what I mean? Like, why are we dealing with this bullshit? You know what I mean? Sometimes she wakes up and she's mad at me because of a dream she had, and I pissed her off in the dream. I didn't do anything here, right? But I actually have to talk her down from the dream. You know what I mean? Like, listen, honey, I'm sorry that I did that.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm sorry that you made up in your head that I did that to you. You know what I mean? I'm very sorry for that. I didn't mean to do that in your head that you did. But
that's what I mean. Like, I've always gone to like those knee-jerk react, like, you know, way before, you know, what the hell we're even talking about tonight. But going like, well, sounds like you have a problem with your insecurity issues. Like, I'm not going anywhere. I'll reassure you that I'm not going anywhere and I'm not doing anything wrong. You know, but
quit trying to make me feel like a fucking dick.
Right,
You feel shitty about something.
Right, because you have insecurities that I might cheat on you or that you know, whatever. Or I tell you what I hear more. It's not even the cheating thing. This is fucking interesting, and this is definitely something that we've never talked about on the show before. Out of all the wives, girlfriends, etc. that I've had, because if you've had a relationship for like more than 6 months, your girlfriend has that fucking dream, right?
Yeah.
More so than not. More so than not. Almost every relationship.
Yeah, I mean, let's put it this way, dude. As Patrice said, fucking, like, if she doesn't have that dream, like, then you don't smell like fish. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
And she's probably a little fucked up with you.
By the way, I did laundry and fucking watched Elephant in the Room for like.
Yeah, dude. If your woman doesn't have a fucking dream about you banging some other chick, then your woman probably doesn't think that you're very fucking fuckable. I mean, like, that's just. Like, that's kind of the way it is. And it doesn't mean that she thinks you're fucking sketchy. It just, like, dude, that's the subconscious is the fucker.
Yeah, it's just the insecurities that you know, play upon that role. But
having a vagina.
Yeah, before I lose the grip on this, it's not even so much that it's like a cheating thing. Like, I saw you there and you didn't even. I've heard this plenty of times.
Other things were more important than.
No, it was that you didn't even care that you saw me and I was there, but you were like paying attention and flirting with or whatever, like this other chick, and I was there. I was right there, and you didn't even pay. You know, you didn't pay me
You didn't fucking care. You didn't care about me.
About our commitment, basically, is the. Not the line, but sort of the overall feeling of this. And I've heard, like I said, this is all secondhand from the women that I've been with in my life and girlfriends that I've been with in my life's dreams. You know, is that they have this whole, you were there and I was standing right there, and you like purposely.
I don't know, Trip. No girl I've ever been with has ever had that. That might actually be your fault, dude.
No, because I've been
just fucking kidding. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying I've been a perfect gentleman in every single one of my relationships. You know, I've been, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I've fucking gotten mad and thrown shit and beat up walls and stuff like that before.
Yeah.
But I've never.
I'm shaking the shit out that bitch. You know, I get it.
Nah, but I'm not a cheater.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm always, if I'm gonna tell you that I'm your man and you're my woman, then fucking that's what it is. And I got no. Intention to ever step outside of that. So
yeah,
but like I said, that just sort of plays to like some of these insecurities of I guess overall women, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think
dudes have those dreams.
Dudes have them too. I actually I kind of make fun of guys for that shit too, though. I mean, like here's my thing. Like I fucking screw with people about worrying about, and really just because of the fact, because I mean, I've got, you know, buddies of mine. Oh boy, you know, she was gonna go out, and I wasn't gonna let her go fucking, you know, go out all night with those chicks, blah blah blah, blah, or you know, whatever the fuck, whatever the situation. Dude, listen, man, if she's gonna do something, gonna screw around on you. She's screw around on you no matter what you let her.
Right.
Like it's not gonna fucking. The only difference is that now she's gonna screw around on you, and obviously this works vice versa. Not fucking.
Sure.
But it's like if they're gonna screw around on you, they're gonna screw around on you no matter what it is that you fucking limit them to. The only difference is that you're gonna exhaust yourself trying to limit the things that they're fucking doing, and they're still gonna fucking.
Whether that's based on your own securities or whether you are trying to turn a hoe into a housewife, though, you understand what I'm saying?
No, but that's what I mean. What I'm saying is that it's regardless. It doesn't matter if you're trying to turn a hoe into a housewife. On securities, the action of trying to keep somebody from doing something that they want to do is pointless.
Right.
They're just gonna fucking.
Yeah. No, absolutely. But also, like I said, we're also at this weird place of existence to where, our parents' age, at worst they were divorced already. You know what I mean? But everybody our age, pretty much fucking married and doing their family life with kids and stuff. Like I said, at the worst they were already married and divorced. But there wasn't like a booming singles fucking like for us, like 30 to 40 is like,
Oh, this is where you get single again.
People or no, it's not.
No, I mean really.
But not even that. There's people that haven't even been married once yet. There's
there is
living the single life from 30 to 40. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And I guess what I mean by that is to combat that in a traditional sense of talking about, if your wife is the married one, no matter how great your relationship is, if your wife is the married one out of the bunch and she's going out with a bunch of her single friends, it's one could argue that's sort of a recipe for disaster. But
but I mean, one would argue that fucking the issue wasn't that she went out with him. The issue was that she wanted to go out with him to begin with.
That's
what I'm saying.
I have single friends in their fucking late 30s and early 40s. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do too. But what I'm saying is that I don't go partying with them. Yeah, I'm not like a. Here's my thing.
I go partying with them, but I'm not going. It's not like they're going out to get pussy. Like we're going out to fucking hang out at a bar, eat chicken wings, and
that might be where.
Just
to take. No, I mean, anytime they go out, there's at least the idea that.
Right.
And so, that's kind of my thing. Don't put myself in that. Kind of like why.
Yeah, certainly. And for me anyway, it was like I got to this probably I don't know, I guess I could say when I met my ex-wife, but that I was already kind of halfway there, but it's not necessarily true because I still missed it. Even a couple years into our relationship, like the worst I ever did as far as quote unquote cheating was concerned was I talked up a girl at a bar with my single friends that are, like I said, at this time in their late 30s, early 40s. And I pulled a number from a girl. It was just one of the, I had no intention of ever calling her after that or but I talked her up and, whatever. And I wasn't saying anything like sexual or anything, just having a good conversation with the girl and pulled the number just to say, I pulled the fucking number.
No, I can still catch fish.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah. So you can act right. Yeah. And not only that, but that gives you that confidence as a man. And like I said, I was at a point in my...
and it's also one of those hey, I'm going to be able to fuck you even better tonight.
Right. Exactly. So there's, I was getting to that point in me and my ex-wife's relationship where it was okay, this reaffirms fuck how little my ex-wife was
penises.
No, how little my ex-wife was.
Sorry, man, you just had too long of a blank spot, dude. I had to fucking think.
Right, and if you're that quick, fucking, we applaud you on this show. fucking nay. But I we had a very it was during like the final kind of the beginning of the final rough patch of me and my ex-wife, like shortly after Lily was born.
Beginning of the end.
Yeah, it was the beginning of the end when I did that, but I was also like that reaffirmed my plight and my stance and what I was. You understand what I mean? Like me being able to go like, not, I don't need you to know so you can act right. I don't need you to smell fish on me. I need to know that I can still catch fish more than anything. You know what I mean? I need to know that I can still catch fish. And if I can still catch fish, fucking, I don't need to show it on you. You don't need to smell it on me. I'm cool. And if you don't fucking realize it and you're trying to, my ex-wife is a fucking swindler. And man, I tell you what, man, we got to hit break because this is a great jumping off point. There was a Peterson lecture that I was listening to where he was talking about how there is a huge minority, bigger than what should be, of women that are that try to like just, of course, over dominate or overpower the people just so they can have a stronger, upper hand in the matters of relationships and getting what they want, just being sociopaths and manipulative in their own relationships because they want to go that route. They want to, and this is totally my ex-wife. My ex-wife is smart enough to do a good handful of things, but she's just wasted all of her horse shit on fucking making sure that she's just smart enough and hooks up with that's why our relationship didn't inevitably last, just because she was trying to be so dominant, and I said yes when I really meant no, and then when I really acted upon no, it continued to be a fucking problem. You know what I mean? So, so it's like you're not. No, I'll say whatever to get you off my fucking back, but like you're not gonna overpower me mentally. I'm more mentally sharp than she is. And she always dated people younger than her. I was 2 years younger than her. Her current husband's 2 years younger. She's always dated people younger than her, But it's like, nah, I'm well cultured, well educated, and well versed enough to where it's like, yeah, you're 35 years old and I can fucking still beat you out mentally. You got street smart, but you ain't winning this one, pretty much. But yeah, we definitely got to come back with that because talking about how people think that they know what they want, and when they finally fucking are there, they realize that they've got themselves into a whole other mess of things, essentially, where it's like, I think you want to be over dominant, but that's not your role, right?
No, they're going to end up being unhappy. That's exactly what he says in there. And that's on his interview with that bitch that he just blew the fuck out of the water.
Yeah, Kathy, what's her face?
Yeah, Kathy's stupid shit, whatever the fuck her name is. She fucking
BBC.
She ate such fucking garbage on. Dude, it was so fucking hilarious.
I recently rewatched that for the first time in a long time, and the amount of times she says, "So what you're saying?"
Oh no, dude! If you go look at the YouTube comments, it's the funniest fucking thing in the world, and actually, it follows it all the way over to like Joe Rogan with Jordan Peterson on, and you'll see like Jordan Peterson's on, and fucking. Because, and also for people that I know we're about to go to break, for people that don't know, like if you go look at Rogan's podcast, like fucking on the YouTube fucking comments of Rogan's podcast, there's always like Joe fucking, oh no, you've got it, you know what I mean? Like, Joe, you've got a good point there, Rogan.
Rogan, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so they had
that's fucking funny, man. That's some inside fucking baseball.
It is, dude. And they had it on him, Peterson. So what you mean to say? So what you mean? Fuck, dude, it's so good.
That's so funny, man. Yeah, that's some truly inside baseball. But okay, we're gonna hit break. might as well start out with I'm gonna make myself another drink, and we'll come back with a song. But yeah, I got a. Yeah, right. If I'm gonna make myself another drink, Pew, leaving you with some Jordan Peterson shit for Philosophy Corner on Psychedelic Sunday. Fucking, we'll come back with I don't know, something tight. Don't go nowhere. Just listen to the greatness of the music and the speech.
What could you do to improve yourself? You don't organize yourself properly, you'll pay for it, and in a big way, and so will the people around you. And you could say, well, I don't care about that, but that's actually not true. You actually do care about that, because if you're in pain, you will care about it. And so you do care about it. You get your act together so that there isn't any more stupid pain around you than necessary. Look around for something that bothers you and see if you can fix it. You have your routines that you go through every day. Well, those probably constitute 50% of your life. And people think, well, they're mundane, I don't need to pay attention to them. It's like, no, that's exactly wrong. I'm gonna make this place better for half an hour. What should I do? Start where you can start. You know, if something announces itself to you, which is a strange way of thinking about it, as in need of repair, that you could repair, then hey, fix it. You fix 100 things like that. Fix the things you repeat every day. Those are the most important things you do. As soon as you give it a name, a genuine aim, it'll reconfigure the world in keeping with that aim. What you aim at determines the way the world manifests itself to you. And so if the world is manifesting itself in a very negative way, one thing to ask is, are you aiming at the right thing? Where am I falling short of the ideal? My own ideal. Doesn't have to be one that someone puts on you. Where am I less than I should be? Where am I bitter? Where am I making the world a worse place than it has to be? Like, you ask yourself those questions, you'll be in for a big shock. Stop saying things that make you weak. Stop telling lies that you know to be lies. Stop doing things you know to be useless and counterproductive. Aim high. Adopt some responsibility. And then see what the hell happens.
We're back at it. Much love. Post politics. Second hour kickoff. On time, actually. That's what we do. That's what we do here.
I mean, you know what I'm saying.
Do you see? Yeah. For sure. Yeah. And they I forgot my train of thought there. Happens on a psychedelic Sunday, my friends, but we're talking introspective analysis and pointing the finger and you know, we could do this inside of, you know, what we don the show on as post politics as well is you know, just talking about how fucking unhappy people are, you know, and you and I get fucking drawn, you know, we're not immune. We're not, you know,
yeah,
we're not immune to this, you know, but you have to have the knowledge, the wherewithal, and the self-realization to go like, this isn't what fucking real life is. And most people in our circles already know that. You see this media hype, and whatever the media hype is, you know, draws the biggest memes and everybody's fired up about it, but everybody has their own take on it. And, you know, that's projected forward, and everybody wants to call each other a bunch of fucking idiots, you know, all day long. And so it's just, like, there's some things I find, you know, downright appalling, and there's some, you know, things that are right on point. And, you know, there's a gambit of issues that can be brought up at any given moment that people attach themselves to, but it's like, well, are you doing this? And I think that the projection of one's self on whether it be social media or out there in the, you know, in the protest world or whatever, but your projection of yourself, one could argue that fucking this radio show is a definite testament to that, you know. But this is where we get our shit out, you know, and hopefully help you guys get your shit out as well, you know. That's why we do it. But is that nobody's taking serious inventory of themselves either, you know. And I know that's sort of like a 12-step terminology or whatever, but I'm not even saying like a moral inventory of yourself, which I think is the terminology used in 12-step programs. But just to go like, yeah, but so to get like into Peterson's book, you know, hey, make your fucking, you know, make your bed in the morning.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Are you cleaning your room?
It's the fucking, it's
like, are you taking care of the small shit? Like, you're worried
the
about
little shit you have to do every day that you actually have control over.
You're worried about global economics. I am too. I'm not fucking putting myself aside from that. Like, I'm worried about fucking, you know, global fucking issues.
No, but it is like, what's funny is here's what I think, like, with me, the reason that it kind of works on so much of a, as big of a level as it does,
well,
more so than any, like, and I mean, like, it, I'll explain.
Works or resonates. Works or resonates.
Like, resonates, I guess. I mean, it's one of those things that it's like, all right, look, what he's saying is kind of, if you start taking care, like, if you actually start worrying about the shit, and it's humbling, right? But it's still such an, the whole idea is humbling as fuck. What he's talking about is saying, like, hey, listen, you don't have any control over this, and think of how fucking small of a person you are, and you're trying to make shots that are fucking, you know, way beyond anything you've ever had to fucking decide on. Talking about.
Sure.
You can't even carry your own shit and then worry about it.
I
You
think
don't have like a fucked up life and trying to conquer the.
absolutely, and that
But
that
it's,
was.
but
Oh,
he's
go ahead.
no, but he's also like he's also talking down on the whole victim mentality and shit too. Like it's not like it's cool to have some like it's something that's humbling, but also being like you know, hey, don't be a bitch, but also realize that you're not fucking tiny. You know what I mean? Like you can take care of shit. You like you know what I'm saying? Like you, but you have to take care of your own shit and then try and move out. You know?
That is on a macro level what we've sort of delved into a lot, you know, over probably the past year or two, you and I.
Yeah.
Going I don't know, but you know what my difference is what I'm doing. Raising my kids the right way, making sure that I go to work and do what I got to do and take care of the shit that I got to take care of, and being a, you know, doing this show, you know, having as good of a positive influence and encouraging people out there, which I think is what we do, you know, just trying to be relatable to people,
Yeah,
or
I mean,
even if isolate fucking half the audience through our musical selections for the evening, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, but I mean, yeah, we guarantee to isolate at least a group every
show, yeah, it's like, nah, those fuckers play Wu-Tang and Tool. Like, I don't know.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. There's a and
is that Ready for the World? I heard, you know.
yeah. There's a lot of fucking yeah. There's a lot of fucking old school '90s rap to fucking. No, I mean, complete underground shit on all sides. Like, I mean, it's
Right.
and then hearing Peterson and you know what I mean, then you'll hear Peterson in the middle. That's a weird conversation to hear. But it is. I mean, look, dude, it's the things that we've.
It's one to be had, you know. It's a conversation to be had, continuous.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many people that aren't realizing like how fucked up what is going on with, and it's happening more with men, and I think because of the fact that, like, you know, masculinity is targeted
Under
much
attack.
more than
It's under attack.
much more than fucking femininity is, right? Like so it's one of those things that, like, okay, make your argument for whatever you want to as far as you know, women and men go, okay, make whatever argument you want. All right, well, is there a war on women? Blah blah blah. It's not women. Look, dude, nobody's attacking fucking women like women. It's
Sure.
trying to demasculize men is fucking what's the
a
problem.
bunch of feminine men. If you think a bunch of feminine
Beta
men
ass males
done, what that really is relinquishing your power to fucking government. Really, really, that's what it is at the end of the day. Because
yeah,
on the chance that you have somebody that maybe is power hungry but doesn't have like a war drum beating mentality, like in the way like a Stalin or a Hitler did, right? You know, is like, yeah. Once again, fucking, I really do want to bring up every fucking point that is starting to get hit on, you know, of Peterson's tonight too, which is like, we don't know how far the left will go, because moderate leftists won't call out the fucking extremist, and yeah,
I mean, if fucking
like we have no
somebody on the right fucking gets called, like they say that a Nazi agrees with them, and the guy on the right has to absolutely apologize for that guy liking him. You know what I mean? It's fucking stupid.
Right. Like
I'm so angry that the Nazi guy liked me. I mean, I apologize.
And I don't think Peterson has really. He's had to do that 1,000 times over.
Oh no, but he's handled it so fucking well that it was.
He's handled it well, but I think, like, once again, this is the ICP argument for me.
Never seen him bow.
No, but for me, this is the ICP argument, right? Like for me, I'm surprised that he hasn't brought up, well, one of John Lennon's biggest fans shot him to death, You know, like okay, like you can be a fan of somebody and kill that. Like my biggest fan might kill me.
And it doesn't even fucking matter anyway as far as all that goes. It's one of those things that you got to be like, look, man, you're actually talking about you're actually listen. What the problem is that when you're actually talking about some kind of philosophy that would support, psychology and basically saying that psychology and what he's learned from all of it, fucking the best way for men to live, right, is to be masculine, to do these certain amazing things and stuff like that. Like,
well,
you're going to get anytime you have some kind of thing that people don't want to hear, or something. People are going to bash you, and they're going to bash on the left. They're going to bash you, and they're going to bash you irrationally. It's going to be the. But if you teach individuality and psychology supports it,
there's so much.
They're going to you're going to have like Nazis that agree with you because they're in.
Right. There's so much that has been supported on Peterson's arguments of that stuff lately of the individual. No, guess what? This is the same type of shit on a much further intellectual level than we've been preaching it as of the past couple years. Of no, you know what I'm doing? I'm being the change that I want to see in the world. I'm raising my kids in such a way. I'm going to work. I'm taking care of my business. I'm giving the people that are affected by me in everyday life a new lease on how things should be conducted, and through my influence, just based on how I feel and who I am and how I believe the world should be. I'm giving cadence to that by putting that out there, so it's like it really is about individualism as a whole, no matter how ironic that sounds, but
it really is. I mean, that's the thing.
Individualism as a whole.
Well, I mean, it's just like it's actually a fucking Ayn Rand quote, right? But I can't remember, so I'm just going to kind of paraphrase it. But it's the the idea that, I mean, the smallest minority in the world is the individuals. Somebody that's not talking about individual rights is no business to talk about minority rights. Okay?
Sure.
Absolutely, that is the smallest minority in the world is individual, and everybody is that. I don't understand how you could have like racist and shit like that, or anyone that doesn't fucking think that that's a
group
that's
think,
great,
Groupthink and mob mentality has been the true paradigm shift, and forget right or left, quite honestly.
Yeah.
The left does a fucking much terrible job, of course, on this issue than the right does, because at least the right will overall convert to what they think is right, at least, or what they think is correct, I guess. The left will continue to subjugate themselves until they fucking, there's just one person going, I'm the only one that is doing this.
Yeah.
And
I am, and it's not even that. It's like, I'm the biggest victim.
Right. I am the biggest victim. All kneel before me. And they're, oh, this is a fucking rhino, fucking transgendered, fucking, fucking college.
This is ridiculous.
That only makes $2.12 an hour. Fucking knitting fucking baby seal sweaters, whatever the fuck they're doing, right? The only one, right? Just how fucking far can we subjugate? And that's where, like I said, Peterson was bringing up the whole, we don't know how far the left has gone, because moderate leftists won't call out extreme leftists, and until it gets to a completely tyrannical point of view, which, depending on, states issues and It's something that we've talked about for probably close to 4 years now. Where we're talking about, thank God at least we have states' rights issues in this country, and we've got a country and 50 states, right? So if you don't like high taxes, you move from California to Florida or Texas. If you like marijuana, you're gonna move to Washington and fucking Colorado, right? So you have these states sort of regulating themselves by what the major appeal is, right? Like me and you, we don't have to pay any state taxes. I'm cool with that. I will probably shit a brick if I ever move to a state that I have to pay state taxes. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? I don't know. Right. So like I said, it's all based on what's your aim as an individual? Where are you going? What do you
I mean, what your life should always be anyway. Like, it shouldn't even be, that shouldn't be a difficult stance for people to understand, you know what I mean? Like, and even more so because everybody's doing it on their own little personal level, right? Like, everybody's already doing that. It's not it's just crazy that you're having to force people to fucking realize that everyone should be concerned with their own lives, and it would benefit.
You could ask somebody in New York, an NYU student out protesting some liberal fucking, agenda or whatever. And it was like, you could ask them, what do you think about people in Iowa? Like, fuck Iowa. That's a red state or whatever. You know what I mean? And it's like, dude, there's probably fucking a million people within that state that probably are closely aligned with your political viewpoints. There's probably around at least a million people, that believe just what you believe in that
I would
state.
think so.
You're like, fuck those people, so it's like,
I fucking hate those people.
No, this is what's happening now, and this is all I care about. It's a terrible way to fucking think about people, and I'm not.
I mean, it draws such a fucking line for stupid reasons.
What I'm saying here is that I don't think like people should subscribe to groupthink mentality, but being an individual and basing everything that you've got on that, you might have a hell of a lot more in common with fucking people, a handful of people in Iowa or whatever, than you do for fucking half of your neighbors. So it's like this mentality doesn't sustain. It just doesn't. That type of mentality does
not stand, bro.
Right? Yeah, this aggression will not stand, man. Where's my shit at? Hold on, sorry.
This aggression will not stand, man.
It's slacking on the
exactly. I was like, God damn, dude. I mean, you're gonna forget. Like, you basically just said it.
Well, I'm a mushroom cloud laying motherfucker.
Can we mark the tape? Fucking the day Trip forgot to drop.
To do drops.
He forgot to drop. Well,
forgot to drop. What are we? A minute 16 and minute 16 or hour 16. I mean.
I was about to say 1:16. Holy shit! This show has been a lot longer than I thought.
It's been a hot minute.
Oh shit! Like, man, I don't know if I can handle the rest of the show.
Okay, don't you to be trying this at home on your kids or your dogs, okay?
Like, man, my mind is fucking blown, sir. I do not think we can do another minute and a half of this. I'm gonna be fucked up.
Dude, we'll be here all year long. We look up and it's like, all right, well, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah.
Here's a fucking rocking around the Christmas tree.
So since we're, I haven't watched this movie. So Donnie Darko.
Oh, sure, man.
I have to assume, I mean, he's the kind of guy that Donnie Darko.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's also, I explained to my daughter right quick. I explained to my daughter the other night that I was like, I forget what the hell we were watching, but it was like last night or the night before, and I said, there's so many movies that I love, but they're well written and well acted, but they are so depressing that I just
yeah, no, I mean, dude, the goddamn songs
that I can't watch.
Just the what is it? Live? Is it live? This live, right?
This thing's what?
All around me, air face.
No, it's neither of those bands. It's a mad world. It's by
Mad World. You're right.
It's by some band that I couldn't even tell you the name of them, but yeah, that's the name of the song. But anyway, Donnie Darko. Sorry.
Anyway, Donnie Darko. Do you think that's possible? Do you think that's like there's might be a chance that we're like just
Well, anything's possible.
Well, I know, but you know, like what do you think the possibilities that we're just in some loop somewhere? And what if we're just in a giant loop? Here's my thing, really, that I build up. What if we're just in a giant loop altogether? It is just a giant loop that happens. But we are just a moment in that loop, meaning like me and you, this moment that we're having right here, right? Like we're a piece of that loop, right? And that loop's just gonna keep moving on from us after it does, right? Like but like that can trip from the next moment are members of a different loop of that infinity, right?
Yes. Yeah, I know what you.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Come on, man. You know.
I got you. Yeah, I mean, that's why I said it. Yeah.
We don't have to explain it, but we already know what each other is talking about. Yes, I do, and the infinite possibilities of there's the same Trip and Zach in a fucking alternate universe, 5 billion,
a trillion times over. You know what I mean? Like just
all the same things that we're doing right now, but it's somebody else, not you and I.
The opposite. Yeah, like think about it. There's there's a universe out there where you're me, I'm you.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everything that you've done in your life, I've done, and everything I've done in my life. It just happened somewhere.
I'm not ill-equipped to discuss parallel universes and things like that. However, I believe that for us, for our universe, for what we know, for what has been, whatever we've got for recorded history, etc. I think, and I had to talk. I've told this story before. I had to talk Matthew Dalton off the fucking ledge at Pork Fest when we were tripping on mushrooms about how that would undo existence. And I know I brought it up here before. Yeah. I think I'm not saying like we're not just a blip. I definitely think that we are. I think that we're just a fucking blip. But I also hold a little bit more significance to you and I's life and everybody else's out there than just going, there's an infinite amount of possibilities that could happen, and this has probably happened in 3 other parallel universes, etc. All that stuff. I think that I have to hold our existence to a little bit more
a higher standard than that.
Not a higher standard necessarily.
Well, I mean, but here's a real fucking ego blower right here.
A more unique existence.
Do you think that the reason that you think that is simply nature and life needs that for you to keep going living? So
no,
doing your thing, you have to think that you're.
I don't, because I think that I've already come to terms with what it is.
And when I say self-preservation, I mean like self-preservation of life, not necessarily self-preservation.
No, because I'm very immediate too. I've learned to be very immediate. Like at this point in my life, like don't get me wrong. Like if I
You
see
don't
my
think there's any chance life has convinced you you're more important than you are? Life will
I, I'm not gonna say that entirely. I'm just saying like that infinite possibilities thing is a little bit far fetched, and I don't think that's one of those types of issues. I don't think
Oh,
that
you can't say anything is possible and then go to that. That's not fair.
no, anything is possible. I'm just telling you
Yeah, you just don't think that that's the case. I got you.
Yeah. I just
got
don't.
you. No, that
I
makes sense.
just don't think that's the case. I just think that there is more significance than just infinite possibilities for me to be you and you to be me in a fucking parallel universe somewhere off in the ether. Not only that, I just don't think that throughout the course of time itself that would ever be proven. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't think you could ever. I mean, well, I mean, they actually could. I guess. I guess they could really ultimately just find that there's once they figure out how to pinpoint fucking dimensions, right? They could just.
I just don't.
They could just find a way to pinpoint that dimensions are infinite. Yeah.
But that's not necessarily true. You could say pinpoints are infinite, etc. But
if you've got an infinite amount of dimensions, then everything that could possibly happen has to be happening. There's no other way for that to.
I don't.
That's how infinity works.
I refuse to believe. I'll say it that way. I refuse to believe that we have that little significance.
I'd say we are completely and utterly, really do. And I think I'm very important to me. Like I'm important to me, right? Like I'm very important to me, and like my daughter's important to me. My sons are important to me. My stepdaughters are, and my wife's important to me, right? But ultimately, we're all very insignificant.
Then why continue to do anything that you're doing right now?
What do you mean? Because I'm enjoying it. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing the thing that I'm doing for the greater good of fucking humanity.
Well, hear me out.
I'm just alive because I would like to be alive. So I realize that
I'm not putting this solely on you because I'm telling you, I'll throw myself under the bus on this. Like, if I truly believed what you just laid out there, I would not give a fuck about. There's no way I would be doing what I'm doing right now. There's no way. Like, okay. I would be doing whatever. I would be pissing on the fucking streets tomorrow and fucking just hurling fucking beer bottles through fucking car windows and doing whatever amused me at the time. Yeah,
I think you would probably do that until like your first trip to prison, and then you'd probably decide that wasn't really all that.
Then I just fucking fuck the nose of the biggest guy there and beg him to fucking go after me and fuck jab a shiv into his fucking jugular because nothing means nothing. I mean,
well, it does because you have to experience it.
I'm just not a nihilist like that.
No, but that's not a nihilist. That's not like I mean.
Jail with stinky drunk motherfuckers before. Like
what I'm saying is like, well, yeah, but I mean, being in jail and being in prison, even like being in prison longer than me. And I was only there for a limited amount of time. When you go to jail for fucking 3 years. You go to jail for a year, and I'll tell you right now that you will seriously consider fucking.
But now
what is important to you and what's not. But
now you're talking about consequence, and now you're saying that somehow, like, even though you're dealing with life subjectively, you're
I'm saying that we are very insignificant to the greater picture of the world. We are. Like, we are. To the big picture, we are very insignificant. We're not like, I'm not some crazy, special fucking human.
But there have been those people.
Ultimately, if I died tomorrow, it wouldn't change the fucking greater fucking thing. Like, humanity would relatively be. But it doesn't mean that fucking I don't want to exist.
Well,
I want to exist because I want to experience you.
And in retrospect to that statement, I really would have to say, given history, there are those people.
No, there are those people, but I mean, you're talking about like.
That means life does mean something, though. You understand what I mean?
No,
like
no. Life means something. An individual human life means very little. Like in the greater cause.
Talking about you're talking Trip Pugh and Zach Odom. Fucking, you got it right.
But you're talking about no, but I mean, you're talking about like, I mean, you're saying like, here's the deal. Ultimately, the existence of the universe really means.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, you're talking about the everybody in the running the gambit of Jesus Christ to Hitler to Gandhi and
okay, if all of those were gone, existence would still be.
You're right.
And that's what I'm saying. So to existence, those things.
We're talking about dropping your own dime on what existence means, and it would be naive to say that fucking Jesus Christ, Hitler, Einstein.
I mean, I would say ultimately your whole goal is just to be one of those people. That's your whole fucking goal, is to become one of those fucking people.
I get where you're going with that.
Like you're, but the thing is though, is that like, I mean,
but those
your chances. I mean, here's the deal, dude. Why aren't you right now? Why aren't you fucking trying out for the Olympics? Like, I mean, if that was a thing, that's a huge thing that people would do.
I got bow legs and I'm not a fucking great athlete.
No, but I mean, when it comes down to it, though, like that's something that is absolutely like just some bullshit. I mean, like there's the amount of fucking tiny fucking, you know, it's less than 1% of fucking like gymnasts go to the Olympics, right?
Right.
Okay, so like, well, even less than that become a significant fucking number of, or become a significant person in human existence.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, ultimately, like, it's not that we don't have like. We exist because we want to exist, but we aren't like some kind of crazy important.
No, but I also think you're coming from it from a little bit more of a nihilistic view than I would, though. I understand where you're going with it. I'm just saying.
I mean, I look at it kind of the way Carlin did, right? Like with the whole idea of like, I mean, maybe the world created us for plastic. Like,
Right.
you know, when we go, it'll be the Earth plus plastic. Like, oh, we got to save the planet. We don't need to save the planet. People might be, but the planet's going to be just fine. And I kind of think that's the case. I mean, like, and now it doesn't mean that I don't. Like, my life is very significant, just like everybody else's life is significant. You know what I mean? Like, but when it really comes down to it, we're all just little flashes in the pan. We're
absolutely. Yeah, I still believe that. I'm not trying to make myself out to be more significant than the next guy or whatever, but I'm also saying that within our plane of existence, or at least our written recorded history, there are definitely significant people that have shaped the way that we continue to live our lives today, whether for better or for worse. Even the worst of people have donned some of the greatest positive.
But even then, what you're saying is, is that people are very, you know, human lives are very important to humans.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, fucking groundhog lives are very important to groundhogs. See what I'm saying? Like, of course, important to you, because you weren't important, and your fucking race or your existence, your fucking being would already be gone. There'd be no reason for humans if humans didn't even think that they were fucking significant. Like, the entire idea that humans are here is because of the fact that they convinced themselves very important. You see what I'm saying?
I would say that we are important enough to be the dominating factor, good or bad, on this planet. That's irrefutable. I would say.
I mean, that's like, yeah, but I mean, then you could look at it. So now, all right, look, to a certain degree, I'm playing fucking.
Sure. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like to that same understanding, then AIDS is very important. It's a very important thing because it's a dominating factor. Something that, one of those things that dominating factor, being at the top of the food, make you
No, yeah.
You know what
I'll-
I'm saying? Like
yeah.
you know, it's like saying like xenomorphs in the alien universe, right? Like xenomorphs in the alien universe. Like those guys are very important, right? Probably would not like it if they were. You know what I mean,
Right, right.
And so I think that's kind of you know. I mean, I think we think we're a lot more. Fuck, Joe Rogan said it again too, right? Like if you were to fly away from, if you were to go up into space and look down at the Earth, like we would look like mold on a piece.
I think we're here to eat the bread. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so fucking true, man. I mean, it really is. When you look at it, it's like, dude, look at the things that we've done to.
We're just a more significant form of bacteria, essentially.
Yeah, we're bacteria with fucking feelings.
right. Yeah.
That's really what it is. It's like,
I was about to say, yeah, we're bacteria with feelings.
And some of us have become cancerous fucking bacteria, and now we actually think that feelings are our life.
Well, I guess what I'm trying to touch, really fucking hammer home and fucking try to.
You've made so many gay references that I could just fucking go off on, and I just want you to know, for the sake of serious conversation, I've held my.
So what I'm really trying to thrust into is
yeah. You know what I mean? I don't mean to get anal here, but
hey, not trying to get all fucking anal retentive on you bastards, but what I'm really trying to nail home with no lube is that
to really force it in the back end here.
Right. But yeah, I couldn't think of anything quick enough to fucking counteract that one, but much love. You guys know what you're listening to. It's fucking bro philosophy, brolosophy.
Brolosophy in this motherfucker. Oh, dude, this is happening. Yeah,
brolosophy.
Oh, actually, and I was gonna say too, man. I'm gonna I'm doing. It's gonna take a couple weeks. So don't want to get everybody built up. No, I'm redoing like our whole setup here on YouTube to make it a little bit more like make both of our screens a little bigger.
Yeah, cool.
And I'm gonna go like white with the background and symbol a little bit different just because it's not so dark and fucking dreary.
Sure.
But I'm having to do it after work and I'm working my fucking ass off. It'll take a little bit of time. Hopefully I'll be getting a motorcycle here within the next 3 or 4 months, man. I mean, I'm gonna get like a fucking chopper, like a cruiser, man. I'm not getting it. And really, I only drive. I drive like about fucking 8 blocks.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah. So it's not a big deal. But I like, my credit sucks. So for all you white privilege motherfuckers, I got black man credit. So y'all leave me the fuck. But yeah, I mean, I'm hopefully once I go deal with my child support, July 25th, I will hopefully not be getting 50% of my paycheck taken out anymore, and I can invest in things to improve my life.
Rock on.
Get that shit going here. I really want a bike, dude. I'm itching for it. You know what I mean? I want a vehicle of my own. I mean, me and Sam both have we have our car, and I drive it. You know what I mean? I drive it as well, but I want my own thing to go away on.
I get it.
You know what I mean? Like in a bike. Oh my god, I just want to be able to go away. Hey, everybody, you can't get a hold of me because I'm on my bike.
Right.
I can't hear my phone on my bike. I'm sorry.
You're totally in tune with the fucking task at hand. There is no side swiping fucking, horse shit involved. You're not texting while you're rolling down the road on a fucking motorcycle. It's just
But I have thought about it.
And I'm going to be disconnected from everything other than what the fuck task is hand and what I'm doing right now until I get where I'm going. I'm telling you, that used to be hours on end, even when we were kids.
Oh,
That
dude,
used
when I
to
was a
be
kid, dude, when
hours.
I was driving, dude, like, yeah, man, it was like I'm doing this right here all the time. This is how I
Man.
drive. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
There's no other than the tunes on the radio. There's no other fucking outside influence until at least you get to where the fuck you're going.
Yeah. That's how it works.
So, all right, we're gonna hit final break here, and we'll be right back. And I don't know what we'll get
We'll
into.
fucking get into all kinds of crazy things. Even your
Kinds of
panties, you
shit.
crazy kids.
Fucking hey, get your titties out. Fucking rub your titty nipples.
Wait, when is that? When is that?
Creepiest thing I've ever heard you do in my entire life, dude.
That creepy enough?
Holy shit, dude.
Was it? I don't even have the mustache for that kind of talk.
No, it was super creepy, bro. All right.
Yeah. No, that's all right.
We'll be back.
Listen, bro.
Yeah.
No, keep going. Let's go.
What-
Let's keep rolling out with this. We're done.
What do you mean? All right. We'll be back for final segment when we return. Much love. It's post politics. Here's one we haven't played before by the Floyd.
Ooh.
Yeah, definitely got to hook that up.
Look, Mummy, there's no plane up in the sky.
1980 suits. So we electrocute everyone will say Joe. That's when even strangers knew our name.
All right, everybody. Back at it. Much love. It's post-politics. As we continue to deconstruct ourselves, society as a whole. Much love. J-Rev Radio, Raz Radio Live, Salty Talk Radio, Radio Chaos, and IPMNation.com.
Doors slammed on me and shit.
Oh, shit.
A little peek behind the curtain. No, I mean we're fine. We're not like done. You know what? I gotta say that while we're doing this.
What?
while I'm bitching about Sam being pissy at me, right?
Right.
I've never had a fight with Sam. Like a legitimate fight.
Oh, that makes me throw up in my mouth a little bit.
Yeah, I mean we've had
disgusting.
Yeah, like we've had disagreements, right?
How do you maintain passion without arguments, my friend?
No, I mean now listen, we've argued to fuck. Like I mean, we've done that. Like it wasn't like we both kind of knew we're arguing right now.
Well, there's also a difference in something that I understood well, which probably led to what me and Brittany have today. Is like, I understand you're fucking. You
want me to bone you?
No,
yeah,
no.
There's
or you're just going through. You're going through physically what you're going through. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's that time of the month.
Or whatever, yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't have like and I don't have. I think that's something.
You know what I mean? Or pregnancy too, like just.
Dude, actually, all right. Look, can we do a whole inside my? Quick.
Go for it, man. I ain't holding you back. I ain't gonna hold you back.
All right, so I don't know if I talked about it on the show. I do know that I talked about it with you. But we're gonna go a little bit further in. I'm just gonna start from the beginning here. Right when I got my job, we do pipe fabrication and things like that. We make all the piping and shit that goes into building these chemical plants, and so vegans and tree huggers, fucking send your fucking hate mail to zjodom@gmail.com. But I had a fucking my wife's ex, who she was with for the longest period of time. She's had two major relationships. One was that the first guy she ever had sex with gave her 14-year-old child, and that was when she was old. First guy she ever dated and started having sex with, and like their third time having sex, she got pregnant. He found out she was pregnant and he fucking left. And when I say he left the fucking country, or he left the fucking state, right? Like he left Texas and fucking went to go live with family in another fucking state and lost contact.
They're gonna have to hunt me down, motherfucker.
Yeah, this is, I mean, like we're talking like this is like a couple years before MySpace came out, right? So like this wasn't even
right.
I mean, you could just burn off, right? That was like, this is back when you could rob a bank and fucking write the James Gang in the side of it type of shit.
If you got out of the state, you're pretty much
exactly, you're safe, So anyway, so that happens, and well, the guy that she gets with after, and openly to her own fucking like exactly the way that he was a bitch, like, but he was a bitch to the idea that like if she got loud enough with him, he was gonna do what. And so
that's where we dropped off.
And and so to her it was like, hey, listen, I don't love him like that, right? But he does what I want him to do, and fucking I have a kid, and so.
But they don't respect them. You know,
and she didn't respect them.
They don't respect those guys.
Yeah, and she didn't respect them openly, right? Like she admittedly didn't respect them.
Deep down, all women want a fucking guy that's gonna end up talking them down if they're fucking dead wrong.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, hey, look, deep down, fucking every woman wants a guy that'll tell her to shut the fuck up every now and then, right? You know, and it's not. And it's like, hey, listen, I love you. Come here. I will never let anybody else hurt you, but shut your fucking mouth. All right? Like you gotta stop that shit.
Prove us wrong.
Yeah. No. And if and you know what? If you're that chick that's saying fucking, oh no, I don't like that shit. Like, hey, listen, I'll tell you, I test you
yourself.
Yeah. I dare you to meet one man who tells you to shut the fuck up, grabs you lightly by the chin and gives you a fucking solid hard kiss. And fucking, if you don't fucking melt and go, okay, maybe. then
Right.
fucking then I'll quit fucking talking like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. But
I
but
gotta,
so-
even in our most heated shit, you know, where I'm going like with Britt. Sorry, side note, right quick,
yeah,
is like going, okay, we're in the heat of this thing, and then she will get like genuinely upset, but it's not over like what she thinks it is. So I have to be the man of the logistics, you know,
yeah,
logical standpoint, dude. And
Yeah.
it's like, look, everything's gonna be okay. I'm not gonna let anything fucking. It's not easy to deal with,
Yeah.
but everything's gonna be okay. All right.
yeah.
So
Just,
trust,
hey, baby, no. If
trust me when I say I got you. You know what I'm
listen,
saying?
baby, if there's gonna be a hell to fucking pay, just understand that fucking you will never pay this hell by yourself. You know what I mean? Like, and that's something that fucking there's a woman needs that, right?
Absolutely.
And even then, like, and I'll say this coming from a dude who's a fucking, I mean, all right, it sounds like I'm trying to be gangster, right? But I'm saying it fucking legitimately. But coming from a fucking convict, like, that's something you need. Somebody, you need you need a fucking woman though too that will also, when all hell breaks loose and fucking she realizes that, like, hey, you are a fucking, hey, listen, you know, every now and then my man fucking raises a little bit of hell. You need a woman also that's gonna be like, you know, when you call from the other side of that fucking fucking call, goes, hey,
And by your man.
yeah, no, I mean, you need a woman that's gonna go, hey, you are a fucking son of a bitch, right?
Right.
But I love you and you're my son of a bitch. You know?
Right.
Yes, I'm
But-
talking about you, Sam. She just walked in the door. She's
Yeah.
like, she goes, me? Yeah, you.
I mean, honest. I tell her
we're
we're
gonna
having-
keep going. So yeah, I'm actually talking about you completely, Sam. I'm having a big talking about you. So anyway, so Sam gets so Sam then starts you know, she's dating her guy that'll kind of do, and they have a kid, and
Right.
and 11 years old. Sorry, it should be 12. Listen, when I say 11 in front
I
of the 12-year-old,
understand.
the 12-year-old, the 11-year-old gets mad.
Explain yourself.
Yeah, the 11-year-old gets mad because she's almost 12, right? So anyway,
Gotcha.
they do that. Eventually, as I have before, fucking oh, the
All right. Enough with the
we're back.
linguistics.
Yeah, I know, I got you. All right, so anyway, so right before I start working here, her ex is selling methamphetamine across that's across the street from my apartment complex, which
Yeah,
is
we talked about this privately a few months ago. Yeah.
yeah. And my stepdaughters go to that store to buy things. Like, I even send them over there. Like, if I want a Dr. Pepper, and then I'll be like, hey girls, here, I'm gonna give you $4. You grab yourself something and grab me a Dr. Pepper. I mean,
Right.
like, that's the store they fucking run across and go to. And he's selling fucking meth over there, and enough to where, like, fucking, you know, Sam sees him and is like, what the fuck, this motherfucker
Yeah.
is
Too
selling
much,
fucking
man.
yeah. And so I call him and I'm like, hey, look, dude, I got nothing against you, man. I know we haven't had say to each other or anything like that, but I'd really
Get off the
appreciate
block.
it.
Get
Yeah.
off the fucking block.
And that was absolutely the conversation that was had, was like, hey, look, I got nothing against you. I know that we friendly, but
I'm the
if
one
I
taking
see you
care of
across the fucking street, if I see you across the street selling fucking dope again, I'm gonna drag you out of the fucking car and beat you. I
Right.
don't need to see you across the fucking street. Right?
Right.
And he's like, oh yeah, whatever, man. I was like, look, dude, it's your kid, okay? It's your kid that I'm trying to not see. I'm trying to not let her dad, and, you know, let her see her dad fucking selling. And he's like, whatever. Okay, well, this dude has very rich grandparents. And he went to jail, or when he went to court, got arrested, and he went to court for having a lot of methamphetamine pistol on him. His fucking grandparents paid for him to get him a lawyer that got him deferred adjudication on that charge for 7 years.
Yeah, it's basic.
7 years.
For those that have not been in the penal system, that's basically saying you're being guilty without fucking admitting.
It's saying you're guilty, but if you be good for the next however long we tell you to, we'll take it off your record. Right. And so they put him on deferred adjudication for 7 years, meaning that if you're good for 7 years, you won't even have this on your record. But if you fuck up in that 7 years, we can send you to prison for 7 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so what ends up happening is he reports to probation one fucking time in a matter of fucking 4.5 months. He reports to probation once. Well, a cop here in fucking Pasadena sees him, and he's getting into his car from a known meth fucking dealing gas station. That's literally outside my work that I work at.
Right.
The cop gets out and goes, "Hey, put your fucking hands up." Put his hands up, and then he reaches for the car, just for the car door of his car, and the cop fucking puts 4 bullets in him. Now, those 4 bullets, none of them hit any fucking organs, none of them hit any arteries. They go into his side. He has 3 of them go into his side, come out of the back, hit no organs, hit no major anything, and then 1 goes into his buttocks and gets planted in there.
Did he have about 15 Dr. Peppers after that?
Yeah, no shit. So the dude goes and so he finally gets his shit goes down. Now he's been transferred over to Louisiana because there's so many fucking people in jail in Texas. They don't have any fucking room.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, dog.
So he's sitting in Louisiana right now. Well, here's the deal. My wife, he is a nurse at a doctor that deals with all of the local police and shit like that for their physicals. So one of the police officers that was involved gave us a call. Like, hey, I just figured maybe the situation was because a grand jury just deemed that the shooting was clean, so we're allowed to speak about the shooting now because
Okay, yeah.
So we're good. We can do what we do.
But what is it?
Basically, he absolutely fucking yelled, got shot. Fucking they put 2 in him. They also found another fucking maybe 2 to 3 ounces of methamphetamines and a fully loaded 9mm in the.
Yeah, it's fine, dude. By the way,
they were like, listen, he's getting at a minimum, he'll be in prison for 7 years at a minimum.
Right, quick. By the way, guys. Look, man, fucking as much as we dog on cops and all that shit and the judicial system here on this show I'm telling you right now, if you go to elude police and you have a fucking gun on you, game is fucking over. If you have a gun on you, you should just fucking comply, just from a legal standpoint.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Look, dude, I don't. My thing is, and we've had this kind of discussion. When people are like, "Oh, well, the police are gang," or the police are gang, and no, listen, I totally agree that the police are a gang, but I know other gang members. I've met Crips, I've met Bloods. I don't hate all of them simply because they are a Blood or a Crip.
Sure.
What I am saying is that it's detrimental to society to refuse to accept the fact that police are also a gang. I'm not saying that they're terrible people because they're police. I'm not saying that. That's not the way I feel.
Philosophically, I do, but
here's what I'm saying is that when it comes down to it, we all in some way, shape, or form, right? Look at your vegans. Go to your vegans. Vegans talk about how terrible it is for animals. Well, then completely disregard the fact that you kill more animals to grow a field of tofu than you do to fucking actually hunt and kill fucking animals. You have to kill birds, fucking groundhogs, fucking moles, fucking muskrats, fucking all of those things have to be killed and fucking wiped away and not eaten. None of their body used to grow tofu because all of those things eat tofu. But I mean, but the thing is that everybody wants to deny these certain things that make it a little bit better. My deal is, look, cops are regular fucking people. Now they're all gang members. But here's the deal. I mean, look, dude, a lot of times your tough motherfuckers join fucking gangs. They join fucking like that.
Well,
the life that they are looking for is a rough and combative field life.
And
They just happen to have chosen a gang I particularly look. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I don't want to get too far away from the fucking story here, but like,
Yeah.
you know, like I said, essentially, you have to understand what you're up against. And if you have fucking drugs and a gun, and you go for your car, like, not only like there's a very huge possibility he could have been killed right there. Possibly.
Yeah, that cop. No, there's a very huge
By the way,
possibility. I mean, you took 4 fucking bullets. The only reason he's not dead is fuck.
Even if he fucking did die, they would have said, we found 3 ounces of fucking meth and a fucking handgun.
Yeah, what do you expect me to do?
Yeah, exactly. So like I said, you have to understand if you're gonna deal, and we all do this. Everybody.
I mean, like, here's the deal, dude. Like, I don't even think that meth should be illegal. Like, look, if you want to fucking kill yourself, on meth, then fucking kill yourself on meth. You're a fucking idiot. But I mean, like, I don't want to put you in a cage because you're dumb.
Well,
what I'm saying is that, like, when it comes down to the point that fucking you realize that there is a human being that is tracking you down because you have that meth, and that human being has a gun pointed at you and is telling you to put your hands in the air.
Not only
Best thing
that,
would probably be to put your hands in the air, or you're gonna get shot for.
like I said, it's all your shit at the end of the day when we talk about that type of issue, because like I said, very much less of a fucking sentence and a case against you. You already should know that if you're gonna exist with outside of the confines of law. So like you and I and everybody else does that on the daily. Like we all exist in and out of law, even if it's one of those ones up on dumblaws.com, right? Like
Yeah, I mean, dude, if you fucking don't drive 100 miles down a fucking 55-mile-an-hour street every day, then fucking don't tell me about how you don't.
Absolutely. So but point being is that you also have to realize at that point where it's like, this is the difference between fucking 2 and 5 years of my life. Like, honestly, like me making this sudden move towards dashing could either mean my life, quite honestly, from what you just laid out, could mean my entire life, could mean I'm shot to death right now. Or judicially could mean the difference between 2 and 5 years of just putting your hands up. Hey, there's 3 ounces of meth and fucking a loaded handgun in the fucking car. You know, that could save you 3 years of your life. You know what I mean? Just doing that.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
you got, don't get me wrong. If you're not going to go out in a blaze of glory, you got to fucking get your act together.
no, it's absolutely true. I mean, there's no doubt. Like, dude, every time that I've actually been arrested, and which is a few times, fucking the officers that arrested me were like there when I was in court, going, no, listen. He was extremely respectful. He was. I mean, he told us exactly what was going on. He didn't, he didn't argue with us. He wasn't trying to be, he wasn't trying to be rude. He wasn't trying to be disrespectful. It wasn't
15 years of your life. You know what I mean? That could mean
it literally does mean years of your life. And it's also one of those things to where it's like, hey, look, dude, this is here's my thing. I feel like a bitch if I am not going. Like, I'm just that type of person.
Right.
If I have it on me and you're like, hey, do you have this? And I'm like, no, I ain't got that. I feel like a bitch.
Oh, that ain't mine.
Yeah, no, dog, I'm not gonna fucking I'm like, yeah, dude, I got this on me. You fucking go ahead and give me what you're gonna give me.
Tayshaun was sentenced to 7 years prison. Yeah. No, that ain't mine, dog. I don't even
dog.
From yeah.
I don't need to be on the next episode of the next 40. The first 40.
I really don't, and it's just like, look, man. Okay, here's what it is. Look, I'm caught. I'm fucked, man. come on, man. Hey, man, take it. Look, I'm a good dude. You know, like I've said that to
No,
cops.
I mean, I've never said I'm a good dude. I will literally like listen. I'm the guy that will fail my fucking sobriety test and in the back of the car be like, listen.
I'm sorry,
I'll tell you when I go. I'm gonna go. Like, no, I mean, when you go to give me the sobriety test, hey man, I'm gonna fail this. You know, I'm not gonna. There's no way I'm passing it. And I'll be real cool with you. But then when we get in the back, I'm gonna be like, hey, you had the choice to let me go. You are a real cocksucker. You know that, right? We're probably driving past like 4 robberies and a rape while you're taking me in for this bullshit right now, right? Like, I am that guy. Like, I'm still that, like, yeah. No, I mean, hey, listen. And then when you drop me off, like, every cop that is like, all right, Zach, you have a good one, you know? Like, yeah, fuck you too, buddy. You have a nice one, all right? You know, like, it's really like, listen, dude, we're not friends, but I don't think you're really human. I mean, like, you're a human being. You just don't know where you stand, you know?
Exactly. It's like, dude, your job description sucks a fucking fat donkey dick. All right. Yeah. Like,
oh, I mean, I am. I'm that guy that'll be like, so how many fucking lockers did you get shoved in before you decided you were
right.
like
that story about like, you know, people that were like seniors when I was freshman, by the time like I was getting out of high school, they were like fucking local cops and shit. And I told like probably that I went to high school with straight up. I was like, look, man, unless unless I'm out there fucking running into traffic or something like that, don't pull me over, because I'm telling you, dude, like it's not gonna be like, look, man, you're I won't say the guy's name, but you know, you're just let's say Matt. You're just Matt to me, dude. You know?
Yeah.
You're not fucking Georgetown County Sheriff. You know, you got the wrong one, bro, because I'm gonna treat you like, you know, the guy's 3 or 4 years older than me, but it's like, I'm gonna treat you like the guy I knew in high school. I'm not gonna treat you like a quote unquote officer of the law. And I told him that straight up.
Yeah.
And it was just like a social function. It was actually like a keg party or like a bonfire keg party shit that we were at, you know. And I was like, I said, hey man, I like you. You know, you're good enough, dude. But yeah, like don't think that like I'm gonna treat
you can
like,
come over and fuck my sisters.
Right? Yeah. Hell, I like you. You can come over and fuck my sister. You
Exactly.
scumbag.
You scumbag. You
I-
trying to stack an inch on me, boy?
I will teach you.
I bet you're the kind of guy that would fuck a person in the ass and not even have the goddamn common courtesy to give him a reach around.
But yeah, man. Well, anyway, you want to wrap that story up so we can get the fuck out of here, or
Man,
what?
fuck, now we've went so far on it, I don't even know where the fuck I was going
No,
with it at this point.
We've got to fucking finish it up at least.
Now
So
I feel like I was just venting it.
that's fine too.
Yeah, so I mean, no, at this
That's
point,
all it was, but if it served a higher purpose, I would rather go into it. But
no, I'm pretty sure. Here's what we're gonna say.
Bitching at this
I'm
point.
pretty sure. No, I'm pretty sure it was a higher purpose that I was serving. Now I'm just bitching. I'm just bitching. Yeah, no. Actually, something that's cool. I actually on Tuesday up with the Texas Family Law Center.
Excellent.
Rights. And I get to go have a little meeting with them about getting my son back. And actually, I will say, the conversation that I had with them, they told me that in about 6 months I have my son, because they're.
I gotta say this, dude. The fucking judicial system is just the slowest working motherfucker. Like,
they are.
Listen to me. Fucking Sean Penn and I Am Sam worked at a faster pace than fucking the common law judicial system in this country, especially family law, and where it's like, no, why? Like, hey, here's my shit. What do you need? A bunch of filed paperwork. There's nothing more than 6 weeks for filed paperwork
Yeah,
it should.
no, I mean they shouldn't. I mean it shouldn't even be that. I mean they should really. I mean, fuck, dude.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying. Like that's me being fair. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
because consider the fact that like we actually like we got rid of the fucking copy fax and Xerox machine, and somehow time got slower.
Right.
Like we now email things. Like I can just type you something, and there's no paper involved. Anything like there's just like a signal that gets sent to you, tells you how I.
Right.
And now it somehow takes like fucking longer. Now they're like, well, it's going to take us 5.5 weeks. And you're like, why? You don't have to carry anything. You don't have to carry anything to the other office. Like, it's just automatically at the other office. And you're like, people at the other office got to get ready.
Dude, I've been dealing with fucking shit with our fucking health insurance company with, you know, I told you Lyric got his arm hurt during baseball, but they said...
dude, they put me on crazy medicine.
So, what did they give you?
Fucking, what is it? Like a generic Paxil or something.
Oh, word.
Yeah, word.
Are you taking it?
I took half. One so far. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Today's literally the first day I've ever taken.
Okay.
I don't know. They gave me Paxil and well, I got steroids for my back, which was kind of cool because my back's fucked up. And I was like, wait, steroids? So they're like steroids, right? And they were like, they're like off steroids, like fucking, should I hit the gym this week? You know what I mean? Like, and they're like, no, your back's fucked. Like, you know what I mean? And they're like, yeah, but I mean, the rest of me is good though. You know what I mean? Like, should I hit up the gym while the rest of me is solid? And steroids.
Right.
Oh no, evidently the doctors.
I wasn't gonna tell you, but your head does look bigger and your balls
looking a little swole.
You know,
a little swole right now. Yeah, man, dude, I'm good. I just, yeah, dude, I don't know. Like, I'm really like, here, look, dude, I'll tell you how I feel about it in another week. I'm never, yeah. When I was in prison, they forcibly gave me like, fucking right because they had.
That's fucking just insane to me. Like,
well, I was diagnosed PTSD before I went in. So when I went in, they were like, oh well, then you have to take something. So they gave me Zoloft. And I got in, and I was like, they gave me Zoloft, and I was like, I took it for like 3 days. I started feeling really jittery, and I was like, oh, I'm not taking it. So then after that, I would just put it under my tongue and spit it out when we left. Right? I never. Then eventually, after you take it for long enough, they don't check that you're going in. So I just never.
I did. Fucking my doctor. She is just like super like. Just quit smoking and everything will be fine, basically. But you know,
oh, that's kind of annoying.
Let's get your blood tested for cancer and all this kind of shit, you know, or whatever. But you know,
don't smoke cigarettes; you could have cancer.
Right. So I got the whatever the what's the anti-smoke, the Wellbutrin knockoff or whatever.
Oh, dude, fuck that shit.
I took that like 2 days, and I was like. I feel energetic and fun. Like I want to be myself, but my fucking temperament, how I'm coming off.
Dude, I blacked out.
I had like a self-perception of like, no, like how I'm coming off. Like I know how I feel, and it's like totally not coming across in my actions. Like I'm like, this is antidepressant. It might help not smoking or being a little bit more energetic or whatever. It might help that shit, but I was like, fuck you, this is fucking with my mode.
Yeah, I don't think it was Wellbutrin. What else that I took while I was in Chantix. I took Chantix while I was in the military to quit smoking. And dude, I took that shit for I want to say maybe like a week or a week and a half, and I was like, I can't do it because I got to work and I didn't know how I got there. I got to work one day and I was like, I have no fucking clue. Yeah, I was like,
woke up and you were working already. Like,
yeah, I was already at work. I was in the office talking to my master sergeant, right? And I remember turning around to him and going, "Fuck, I don't know how I got here." And what was cool though is that my master sergeant, me, 2 of my other coworkers, all taking because they were giving us Chantix.
Right.
We took it.
By the way, the military is always the testing ground for fucking.
Yeah, you're always the guinea pig.
Or fucking whatever.
Yeah, I mean, and as you should be. I mean, you signed a fucking contract that said fucking government.
Yeah, you'll just be a guinea pig for whatever they want to shove down Americans 2 years from now. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm not applauding myself.
No, I'm just saying. That's the
But
way
yeah, so we all know. I mean, like I was like, dude, I don't know how the fuck I got here, and my boss was like, yeah, man, I stopped taking them like 3 days ago.
That's crazy.
I was like, okay, well, I'm not doing that anymore.
Right? It's like,
and you look at the fucking side effects, and the side effects are suicidal thoughts, and you're like, wait a second, you're telling me that I should stop smoking cigarettes that could kill me, in a couple of years. Like these cigarettes could give me cancer in 10 to 15. But if I take Chantix, I'll kill myself tomorrow.
Right.
Right? Like, nah, it seems.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
All right, man. We're fucking tapping out, dude. Much love. Good combo tonight, man. We need to do that a little bit more often. Even if we just carve out any Sunday or Wednesday for just to have like maybe a 1-segment philosophy corner just to hash some more of this shit out. But
I think we should have a fuck y'all it's about us night.
Every so often, whenever it falls on, I tell you when it will fall on is fucking Wednesday night when we return back to you on all of these platforms for Wu-Tang Wednesday is what we're gonna do.
Wednesday. And actually it'll be right after my meeting with the lawyers. I've got all kinds of things going on next week, so yeah, Wednesday's gonna be a good night for me.
So yeah, Protect Your Neck is definitely gonna be on the fucking platform for Wednesday. You know.
Yeah, it will be.
Wu-Tang, let your nuts hang.
Dude, I also listen, man. At the risk of sounding like I'm fucking licking Joe Rogan's nuts here, fucking dude. Even last week, right? Like every time that I feel like I'm not with Rogan on this certain thing, right? I'm chilling in the middle of the week, and I get on like what was it, Tuesday, maybe Thursday, a fucking it's 2018 and still. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. From Joe Rogan, a tweet randomly. And I was like, that's sorry son of a bitch. Just when you fucking think you're going to go away, right? When you think you're going to go somewhere else, they pull you back. What's your chihuahua?
This is Hazel. By the way, Norton, I got to say this next time I call in a Jim and Sam show. Norton's characters have completely like ruined my life as far as like my marriage goes. However, it's never made me and my kids closer.
Now I gotta call my dog. Keep going. I'm listening to you while you're doing it. I mean, I'm gonna yell my dog's name, but y'all just don't.
Yeah, for sure. So like Chip is a huge deal. Hosley, like this one. Ooh, this isn't my dog. This is my wife's dog. But
that's my boy.
Yeah, buddy, dude.
That's my guy.
So this is my wife's dog. This is Hazel. And she's a little son of a bitch.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
gone now. But anyway, I say this because Norton's characters like Edgar, which is like an old man who talks very slow and then says things.
Okay, I know that one.
Yeah, things for the audience. Things.
Yeah.
Like my son. You don't understand, dude. Like my son is going like. He got a new Batman toy, right? You know, so he goes up to me and goes, "Dad, this is Superman." April Fools.
Nah.
My son is like
Yeah.
3 years old doing April Falls jokes, and so he Edgar mispronounces everything.
Hey, listen, we're never
Talks-
going to April again.
Right. So, and then of course, Chip. You know,
Yeah, Chip Chipperson.
Chip is the worst thing that you can do to your wife. If you want to have fun and annoy your wife or girlfriend at the same time, just do Chip. You know, and everything will fucking fall into place the way that you want it to, even though it annoys the shit out of them. But you know, she's like, well, yeah, she's like, what are you go? Just for instance, like you can go to your wife and your wife would be like, what are we doing tonight? I was like, you know, I don't know. What about tomorrow afternoon or something? I don't know. Like,
Yeah. I'm so fucking old school that I can't even answer anything with what are we doing tonight other than the same.
Right.
Like I can't help it. I try.
But like, there's just certain fucking moments in life where you go for the corniest fucking cringeworthy joke.
Oh yeah.
Possibly come up with, and that's what Chip Chipperson is. So it's like, you know, you chip your wife, you Edgar your wife, and it's fucking hilarious. But anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I don't even know where we're going with that, but we're gonna roll the fuck out. Your call, brother. We can roll out with Porno for Pyros or Mazzy Star.
Never tell me the fucking songs.
Doesn't matter.
I'm gonna go Porno for Pyros then.
Rock on. Catch you guys for Wu-Tang Wednesday. Post Politics.
Get the money.
Dollar bills, y'all.